legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia.
BS, pal, it had everything to do with Saudi. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling, and I tell you what, the only thing worse than a punk is a sellout punk.
You're not a punk. You're a capitalist. You're potato salad, pal.
Well, John Cena, that promo was ever more true after CM Punk's latest little apology, him grovelling to the Saudi Arabian fans after comments in the past, but Cena called this guy a capitalist, and I mean, he's capitalising on his opportunity here to bow down and beg forgiveness from Saudi Arabia, the Saudi Arabian fans, and every single Muhammad in the crowd. So, yeah, let's get into, and also, let's not forget, this guy literally just, first thing he does as soon as he gets off the plane is like pushes some little Saudi Arabian kid out the way. See if this was fucking like a 14-year-old Roxanne Perez, I bet you wouldn't be pushing her out the way. Be like, aye, come on in, I'll train you. You can be my pretend daughter. But nah, it's some Saudi kid. Isn't he interested in him?
No interest in you, brother. Absolutely not. But yeah, I tell you what, man, if Punk wants to not have any interest in the kid...
CM Pedo.
Aye, CM Pedo, but let's see what CM Pedo had to say.
Legitimately had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I woke up and I was crabby and I wrote a mean tweet to The Miz and I apologized to The Miz. And sir, what's your name? Mohammed? Mohammed? I sincerely apologize to you and all of Saudi Arabia.
What's your name, kid? Muhammad? I apologise to you, Muhammad. CM Punk, why is he asking if the guy's name's Muhammad? Like 99% of the people in Saudi Arabia are called Muhammad. But let's break it down. So he says that his whole outburst with Saudi Arabia, he says it had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. And he pretty much blames it on him waking up, being in a bad mood. As lefties do, just taking zero accountability. Oh, it wasn't my fault. I woke up, I was on Twitter too soon. I didn't have my morning cup of coffee. I accidentally typed out something I didn't mean to type out. It was all the Miz's fault. I was pissed off with the Miz. Saudi Arabia, please forgive me. Like, this is just fucking bullshit, right? We know this guy doesn't like Saudi... And here, I'm not going to bash CM Punk for not being a fan of Saudi Arabia.
But we're going to bash for being a hypocrite.
Yeah.
See, a key thing is, he said blood money, right? What is the one term that you would associate with Saudi Arabia? It's blood money.
Blood money.
No, but it's like, you look across the world, right? Russia, you would associate with, like, vodka, right? Britain, tea, fish and chips. Saudi Arabia is oil and blood money.
Sports washing, buddy.
So it had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, so the whole tweet where this whole thing came from, he was in a bit of a feud, I guess, with the Miz, online bitterness, a bit of a rivalry back and forward here. Miz said something that CM Punk didn't like, and instead of CM Punk maybe having a conversation with the guy, sitting down with the guy, maybe even CM Punk offering him a one-to-one fight, although I can see why Punk didn't do that based on his past experiences. This guy fucking struggled to beat up people in AEW, so don't know if he beat The Miz or not, but he quoted a video for The Miz and he sent out the following tweet. He says, "Go suck a blood money covered dick in Saudi Arabia, you fucking dork." And now he is trying to say it had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia, when the reality is it had everything to do with Saudi Arabia. Would CM Punk have sent out the exact same tweet if they were currently about to head to Australia? Of course not, because you wouldn't associate Australia with blood money. If he was going to send out anything, it'd be like, go to Australia and get humped by a kangaroo or some shit like that. You know, he would address it,
That's a knife.
And he would try and bring up something that was like Australian orientated or had something to do with Australia. This was a clear dig at Saudi, and again, not really bored about that, because, I mean, I have no love for Saudi Arabia, but this guy's just a massive fucking sellout. He'll tweet that, and then he'll take the money. Like Cena said, you know, you're not a punk, you're a capitalist, you know. He thinks he's edgy, he thinks he's this, he thinks he's that. He's sold out for the dollar, just like everybody else does. And the worst thing you can do now is doing what he's doing, trying to retract, trying to twist what he said. Why not fucking own it? Why not have CM Punk go to Saudi as a heel?
No, that's what I was going to touch on. It pisses me off.
Because Cena's going to get cheered anyway.
That's what pisses me off for most of this. Turn it into a work. See this trying to rewrite history and pretend that... How interesting would it be if Punk actually goes here and he's bashing the fuck out the car. He's like, yeah, I said that about the Miz 6 years ago and I fucking meant every word. I don't want to be here.
Let's be honest, he's not going to do that in Saudi Arabia.
No, he's not going to do that in Saudi Arabia. But he doesn't need to kiss her ass.
Yeah, but I mean, let's just be honest. How far does he go before they're like, right, see his plane, that's not leaving?
Let's discuss that. Do you think there's an element of that? Let's play devil's advocate here.
You think he's fearing for his life?
Do you think CM Punk, the only way he's been allowed entry into the country, if there's been some form of apology, has to be issued by him?
If that's the case, if I was Punk, I'd say I'm not going.
Yeah, but here we don't know. We don't know if this match is being official, and then the Crown Prince has rung up Big Nose and went here.
It doesn't matter. It could have been made unofficial. Put your principles before your bank account. CM Punk could have said, right, well, I'll do the Cena match, but not in Night of Champions.
But yo, how cool of a story? Well, I say how cool. That makes me sound like a mark. But how cool of a storyline would it have been if Punk agreed to this match? Main event.
Didn't show up.
And he appears via satellite. And he's like, I think I was going to turn up there
Dwayne Punk.
and drink camel piss. Not a chance.
Well, if he's going to bash them, it'll be for the comfort of a satellite. But yeah, just Punk being an absolute sellout. What's your name? Muhammad. I'm sorry, Muhammad. I apologise, Muhammad. I apologise to you, Muhammad. I apologise to all the other Muhammads, and I apologise to Saudi Arabia.
But I think he's contradicting. Why does he feel the need to apologise if he says the original tweet had nothing to do with Saudi Arabia?
Because he's included Saudi Arabia in the tweet. Obviously, that's...
Yeah, but he feels like he did nothing wrong with that. He says it wasn't directed towards Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but he's put them in the tweet, so of course he would apologise for it if he felt that way.
No, but apologising is...
I don't even...
Done wrong for. Look at The Sopranos when Ralph makes the joke about Jenny Sack. Tony's like, under no circumstances do you say sorry because that shows accountability. And what does Ralph do? He shows accountability. Yeah,
but you should show accountability because you're fucking in the wrong. It's all about taking responsibility and accountability for your actions.
Yeah, but he's turned around and said here that it was not directed towards Saudi Arabia.
It's not direct. I mean, it's clear. He's mentioned Saudi Arabia in the tweet. Of course, it's directed towards Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but he's turned around and said it's not. So he's a hypocrite.
No, it's directed towards Saudi Arabia. There's no spinning this.
I know it's directed towards Saudi Arabia, but he's trying to spin it that it ain't directed towards Saudi Arabia.
But he can't spin that because it's in the fucking tweet. He can't spin that.
I know he can't spin it, but that's what he said. Literally in the clip that is included in this video, that's what he turned around and said.
So you're saying he shouldn't? No, you were saying he shouldn't apologise.
Yeah, he should.
So you said he should come out and say, here guys, I've nothing to apologise for because it was not directed at Saudi Arabia, even though it clearly is directed at Saudi Arabia.
He literally says in the clip that it wasn't directed towards Saudi Arabia. Yes or no?
He's saying he didn't fucking mean it. If you can't read between the lines, your head's gone.
How's my head going?
Alright.
I think your head's gone.
So CM Punk should have came out and for him, he shouldn't
even addressed it. If it wasn't directed towards Saudi Arabia, what's the big deal? He crossed that bridge with the Miz and mended fences a couple of years ago. That's where it should have ended.
That's like saying, Triple H, I'm not sorry for what I said about when McMahon dies. The company will be taken over by his doofus son, and it wasn't pointed at you. Bull fucking shit.
That's 100% directed towards it.
And this is 100% directed at Saudi Arabia.
But he's turned around and said that it's not. He never came out and said that wasn't directed towards Triple H. Has he? No. But this he has.
But it is clearly, he's a fucking liar.
That. I know he's a liar. I'm not denying that. So therefore he should never come out and said that.
You're saying he shouldn't have apologised? He was in the fucking wrong. And he's in Saudi Arabia now and he needs to kiss their arse. Of course he's going to apologise.
I know he's got... Yeah, because he's a sellout bastard. But my problem with him is that he shouldn't have turned around and said it. He's contradicted himself in the statement that he's made.
No, he hasn't.
Yeah, oh my, right.
So you can only apologise for something if it's something you 100% meant. So you can't do something by accident, or you can't hurt somebody accidentally, or unintentionally, or unintentionally, and apologise. Are you serious? Is that your brain?
We literally discussed it.
So you can't unintentionally hurt somebody and not purposely mean to do it, and then
that's completely different.
No, it's not. That's exactly what this is.
He's trying to say this was not directed towards Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, but he's apologising because he's put Saudi Arabia in the fucking tweet.
Nah, I'm not having it.
No, that's no. What you're saying
Punks
is
are fud.
no. What you're saying is basically, unless you 100% mean to do something, you can't apologise or you're owning up to it. That's so that.
How about we agree to disagree?
No, because you're fucking wrong.
Why is it wrong?
No, that
Why is it wrong?
No, dipshit. That would be like
Opinions
no.
can't be
Hold on.
wrong.
No. That would be like you walk. You're just trying to stop me from talking because you know I'm right. That would be like you walk. That would no. That would be like you. No, that would be like you walking in shop. That'd be like you walking down the street and bumping into like an old woman and you knock her flying on her arse and she hurts herself and you're like, oh, apologies. Didn't mean that. My intention wasn't to, physically hurt you. And then, but you're saying that if you say sorry, then you're somehow, oh, but look, there's you owning up. There's you taking responsibility. You shouldn't say sorry because you didn't mean it. Bullshit.
It's completely
no, it's
different.
not. It's the same.
It's completely.
No, it's the same principle.
No, because what you're talking about is bumping into a woman by accident. That would be the equivalent if I bumped into her on purpose, then claimed it was an accident. Punk's done it on purpose, now claiming, oh well, I didn't mean to do it.
No, it's not. That's not what you were going for, man. That is clearly not it.
So what was I going for? Explain it.
You're saying the guy should, under no circumstances, apologise because then it makes him look guilty. It makes it look like he was directing it at Saudi Arabia. What he was doing or what he wasn't doing is fucking irrelevant. We all know it was directed at Saudi Arabia, but
He's trying to say it wasn't.
But he's included them in the tweet, so therefore he needs to fucking apologise anyway to save face,
does he
doesn't
need to apologise to dicks everywhere next? For every word that's in the tweet?
Why can't you just have once go, you know what, man, maybe I got that wrong.
No, I didn't, guys, because I didn't get it wrong.
Okay, right, alright.
What's wrong about it?
Right, okay. Mental. Right, you finish this. I can't believe
his head's gone.
No, I can't believe that's the stance you're taking, seriously.
It's the stance I'm taking. I'll die on that hill.
Right, okay.
Well, let's talk about the kid pushing then.
Go talk about it.
Have you got some opinion on that? You've called him a pedo with no fucking evidence. I haven't come out and turned anywhere and said anything like that.
I'm pretty sure that he was talking about like age of consent with some of his fucking indie buddies before, and he's a dodgy guy. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, he's a dodgy guy, but there's no proof of it, is there? Where do we draw the line on Big Phil?
I ain't apologising, so there you fucking go. I've got nothing to say sorry for. I'll stick to my guns.
We'll stick to the guns on Phil. Nothing like a good old heat-it fog CM Punk bash. Fuck Phil. Honestly, see all the people that grew up watching this guy, like, oh, he's the voice of the voiceless, he's edgy, he's that. How do they feel now? All the fucking losers, all the socialists out there. He's a fanny. He's honestly, he's like the biggest. He's the biggest embodiment of the left you'll ever fucking see in pro wrestling. He's a loser. Nothing more, nothing less. And Big John's walking out tomorrow night as champion. No two ways about it.
I just think it's mental that you think from his position.
No, I don't think you should acknowledge it. Why should they acknowledge it? It's a fucking 6-year-old tweet. If we all had to respond and react and apologise for tweets 20 years ago, then it would be embarrassing.
It's not about that. You're trying to say by him saying sorry, that means that he did mean it. No, the fact that he's included the name Saudi Arabia in that tweet, whether he means it or not, it was there. He has fucking stated what he believes. So, that's meant. I am absolutely flabbergasted.
Flabbergasted.
I am.
He has turned around and said that it was not directed towards Saudi Arabia.
I'm actually lost for words, man.
Lost for words?
I am.
You must have listened to a different clip from me, man, to come out with this. I'm not having that.
The analogy that I used is very simple.
Oh, yeah, no, because he tweeted that, right, with the full intention. It was intentional to have a dig towards the Miz in Saudi Arabia. Correct. Your analogy is if I banged into an old woman walking down the street by accident. Punk didn't mention them by accident in the first place, did he?
No, but you're claiming he didn't mean it.
No, I'm not. I know he meant it. I know 100%.
No, but
he's turned around and saying that he didn't mean it. And he meant no intention towards Saudi Arabia. I think you misunderstand what I'm saying. I don't see banging into somebody walking down the street by accident, sending the fly and apologising. That's different because it's not intentional. What he did was intentional.
How could you possibly tweet what he tweeted and not be directing it at Saudi Arabia? It's not possible. It's not possible.
I know he is, but he's turned around and said that he's not. So he's a fucking liar.
Well, even if he wasn't,
Well, we agree on he's a liar.
Even if he wasn't, he's included the name.
Yeah, he's included the name, but he turned around and said that he didn't do it. It wasn't directed towards him.
Let's say you're sending out a tweet and you're calling people a bunch of killers, and you put someone's name in there, and it's not true, right? Would you? So would you?
These analogies
no,
are piss,
no,
man.
no,
We'll just agree
no,
to
no.
disagree.
And that person calls you, right? Would you be like, you know what? I just woke up actually, and I didn't mean to put your name in there, so it wasn't directed. Or would you be like, you know what? I'm sorry. I shouldn't have put your name in there.
Different. It's just that
No,
your analogies are a wee bit shite.
No, they're not.
Come back at me with something decent. I'll maybe fire back.
fucking
Even
not.
entertain them.
They're not shite.
They are.
No, the fact that you,
Right, so, but how can you make an analogy between somebody walking down the street banging into somebody by accident and Punk's tweet?
because
What?
you said that if you apologise, you're owning up to meaning something. That's what you said. You can apologise. The point I'm making is you can apologise for something you didn't mean, right?
No, yes, you can.
You said you couldn't. Right, you said, oh, if he apologises, that means he meant it. No, it doesn't, because you can apologise for something you didn't mean.
Well,
do you want me to go back?
No,
do you want me
listen,
do you want me to go back?
I agree with that. You can't apologise for stuff you didn't mean, but he did mean it. But he's trying to say
But he's claiming he didn't, sus. You're saying that he shouldn't apologise. No, you clearly...
He shouldn't because he...
No, but you see, you fucked yourself over. You're just saying... No, because you're just saying... You just said there... You just said there... He's apologising for something he didn't mean. But previously you just said, if he apologises, it shows he's guilty because he meant it. So you've just fucked yourself. And that is it, guys.
Both things are true.
I'm ending it. Just a
No, both
oh my god.
Both things are true.
No.
He's apologised for something that he meant, but he's trying to claim he didn't. But at the same time, he's guilty by apologising because that means he meant it, or else he wouldn't be sorry for it.
But you... Oh, wow.
Just end it. Just end it.
Guys, this guy's gone. I'm sorry. Right, you know what? We're taking Big Steve the Cool off the wrestling. Watching too much wrestling would do this to somebody, I'm telling you. This would...
No, put up for a poll who was right.
It certainly wasn't you.
What?
1 minute you're saying...
Your coffin dodger analogy was pish.
Fucking work. No, the point I was making is it was accidental. You're saying, oh, if CM Punk apologises, it shows that he meant it. No, it doesn't. No, fucking doesn't mean shit. That doesn't mean shit. Anyway, let's get back to the point. This guy's a sellout bastard. Everything Cena said in this promo was true.
No, it was. Of course it was. There's no two ways about it. But I don't think Punk needed to turn around and say that he apologised. He didn't even need to. I don't understand why he did address it. Because I believe that there's been some form of pressure on him to address it.
See if I accidentally delete Fog Wrestling tonight, should I not apologise to you? Because I didn't mean it, but if I do apologise, it proves that I did it on purpose. Come on, man.
Each scenario is different.
Right, thoughts on the kid pushing? Must have been pushed to the side, but we need to bring it back to the...
You know what? It doesn't change anything for me. Kids are fucking annoying.
No, they are, but he kind of did push him aside like he's a piece of dirt, didn't he?
Well, yeah, based what he said about Saudi Arabia, he probably doesn't want them touching him.
Right, has he apologised to that kid that's probably called Muhammad as well?
Don't know.
Would he have pushed Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade aside? They actually did meet and greets with Punk when they were younger.
He's a weird guy.
Would he have pushed them aside?
I don't know what he would have done with... No, he definitely would have.
Wouldn't have.
He probably wouldn't have been able to tell though if this was a 14-year-old girl because they've been wearing a fucking hijab.
Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Until then, Punk's a sellout.
Leave it down below who was right.
That's clearly not you, because you're saying that.
But no, but you're your way of the highway. I don't lose the head when someone disagrees with me.
Yeah, because it's
you
fucking...
literally said earlier, you wrap this up because I'm gone. Yes or no? Was that factual? Your head went. You did a fucking bell.
My head's still going.
If you don't hear from me, guys, I'm hanging somewhere.
I can't believe what you're saying.
Sullivan might have drunk the beer.
You're saying if he apologises, it all meant he meant. No, doesn't. You can apologise for accidentally doing something. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Of course you can.
Yeah, but you're saying he can. If he you were saying your point was if he apologises, it means he's owning up to it that it was directed at Saudi Arabia.
He should have turned around and said, "I'm not apologising because."
But no, it's not how it works.
But it should be. If he had a backbone, if he wanted, if he truly believed. Listen. If he truly believed, right, that it was him offending the Miz and nothing to do with Saudi, he should have said, I've already apologised to the Miz and I felt no need to apologise to Saudi Arabia because I didn't feel like it really had anything to do with him. Even though it said them in the tweet and I'm a lying lefty bastard.
So see when I go into the street and I knock over this old person by accident, I'm going to say, here, get your own ass up, I'm not apologising.
That's different. That analogy's going nowhere.
It works for me, brother.
It doesn't work for me.
Fucking Hogan would agree with it. Anyway, that's it.
No, but that analogy is the equivalent of me taking. Say I've got a beer in front of me and I drink it. You watch me drink it, right? And you're like, right. That'd be like saying, we don't know who drunk that beer. Is the same as we don't know who drunk the beers in Ben Waugh's house on June 24th, 2007. It's like, you saw me drink it. We don't know what happened in the house that night.
And this guy thinks that analogy better than mine.
No, it's a comparable analogy. Yours is
I'm too much wrestling, guys. I'm telling you, it's not good for
Leave
you.
it down below. I'm right.
I'm turning the comments off. This is embarrassing.
No, you know what? We're going to end this and re-listen to what Punk said.
Till next time, buddy. Peace.